We are not helpless. You are not alone. I have hope that we are all fighting for what our hearts know to be true. Love over fear starts with how we see ourselves. The strength and sovereignty we fight for in our own lives helps others too. Faith is personal, but this truth is universal. We are one. I'm a musician. I write music because we have all had some hard-ass lives nowadays, you know? The shit that our parents didn't deal with, their parents didn't deal with, their parents didn't deal with. The things that a society has taught us to suppress over and over and over. The feelings that we are told are too much, that we shouldn't feel them, that we're too sensitive, that it's a weakness to have feelings. The art that I create, the music that I write, everything about my life, the way that I dream, the way that I romanticize things, the way that I am so delusional that it almost works, the just trust that I force myself kind of sometimes to have in faith, and having faith in a world where it feels wrong, where it feels terrifying. Terrifying isn't even a strong enough word. Where as a woman, as a girl, you are taught to not be angry, to not open your mouth, to not speak up for yourself, to please other people, that you exist to be gawked at, an object, objectified, to objectify yourself, objectify other women. You are in competition. You are in competition for men that were boys, that were taught to never feel sad, never be in touch with their feelings. It is weak. I punched my pillows today as hard as I ever could. I'm a pacifist against my own better judgment, I feel sometimes. And I have never let myself feel the rage that I have held onto. And a lot of it is sadness. I think that anger is such deep sadness that it builds up and it becomes something else. It's a repression of that sadness, aggression, channeling that in rage, anger, screaming. I've never screamed like I did today. Just absolutely let it out. Fuck you, this world, the way that we treat other people, the ways that we see ourselves and how that affects how we treat other people. The ways that we're taught that how you make it to the top is you judge other people, you step on top of them, you steal, you cheat, you lie. These are the things, the superficial things that fill that gaping hole of unfulfillment, of fear to dream, to step outside of comfort that is fear. Don't feel these things. Don't be these things. You are sensitive. You're too much. And I believe in love. I believe in love so much that it is infuriating that I am here existing in a world that is so miserably hopeless sometimes, that it just drowns out all of the beautiful things. That I allow myself, I allow others to step in the way of the gratitude that I should have for everything that I've made out of everything I've been through. But the frustration comes from the fact that a lot of the things that I've been through, I should have never been through. I'm not a victim. I'm not helpless. Here I am, continuing to push, continuing to stand up for what I believe in, push myself day in, day out, all the time. Be more, do more, practice what I preach. Don't be a hypocrite. It's incredibly discouraging to believe in something like that in this world. We are parasitic to this planet. We are parasitic to each other. And we have many parasitic things attached to ourselves. The ways that I have faced injustice, and I have. I'm not a victim, but the ways that I have faced injustice, I have struggled to not internalize that, to not let it affect how I speak to myself, how I see myself, how I live my life, and how I treat others. And I've tried so hard to keep it together. And a lot of it's been for people that didn't deserve it, for their comfort. And I'm not alone in that. I think we all feel these things, and I think that that's why it's just a repeating cycle, you know? Who's gonna say it? The people that have judged me the most in my life for having deep feelings, for being vulnerable, are severed from theirs enough that they don't feel like they can conjure beauty and creativity and passion for themselves. And they try to take it. Again, I'm not alone in this, and I am just as guilty of making these mistakes in my life, but I can no longer accept complacency and silence and feeling like I'm too much. You know, for a long time I mistook being humble as being incredibly critical towards myself. I have to tell myself that there's something wrong with me, to make other people comfortable, to be humble, to not be conceited, to not be judged, and I was anyways. How incredibly discouraging that even in the ways that we try to speak up, we face more and more adversity, the more that we believe in our message, the more that we believe in ourselves. I know I'm not alone in the frustration that I feel for the way that the world teaches us to push things down, to be against each other, to scapegoat other people for our problems. The more that we believe in ourselves, the more that we allow ourselves to feel and to feel okay in having feelings, the more that we're ostracized, the more that we are suppressed, forced into repression. I held on to so many feelings for so long because it was unacceptable to feel them. Not because they weren't human, but because being human was frowned upon. Because being human is messy and it's disgusting and it's ugly and it's also beautiful, and we create. We were meant to create. We came here to create. And we've been severed from our creation. We've been severed from ourselves, which is our creation. The creation before us. Severed in a way that makes it so that we are living such a lie that repression becomes the normalization of everything. We're taught that it's normal to play small, to accept what we can get, don't complain, but also don't try, don't step outside of what a projection of somebody else's life has been. Well, I didn't succeed in that, so you wouldn't, you shouldn't even try. Well, people don't really make it like that. They don't really do those things. They do these things, and these things work for people, and we worked our way up the ladder, so you should just do the same thing. And for a long time, I felt like I was the crazy one for recognizing this, for seeing it, for not being able to unsee it. I felt crazy for feeling so out of place, having such big feelings and frustrations about the dysfunction. And the more that I let myself believe that there wasn't something wrong with me for feeling that way, going against the grain of everybody around me, not having the support to the point that it gave me nothing but myself. It gave me nothing but validating and justifying what I've been through. How do I move forward? What does that look like for me? Because nobody that I know has been through what I've been through. Nobody that I know feels and thinks and lives and breathes and eats and sleeps and shits the way that I do. And I'm not unique in that. We're all different. We're meant to be different. Why is it frowned upon when we can't fit in a box? Why is it frowned upon when we don't want to fit in a box? When we don't want to see things as good or bad? We want to see the beauty in the sadness that makes us have such deep love, create such beautiful new things. I think that the driving force behind most of the world today is shame. Feel shame for being who you are. Feel shame in the decisions that you've made, the mistakes you've made. Feel shame for looking the way that you do, for sounding the way that you do, for being who you are. And this shame keeps us all down. I mean, it's strategic. The more that we feel ashamed of who we are and everything, the mess that makes us us, our mistakes that maybe we didn't mean, but you have to validate that to everybody else. You have to explain yourself, don't make peace with it. Don't move on. Don't forgive yourself. Don't forgive other people. Say that you do and hold a grudge that eats away at your soul, at your heart, takes away from your energy, from your time, from your life. I've been told my entire life that I am too much. And you know what? I want to be a musician. I want to get on stage. I want to speak to people's souls. And maybe that's a crazy dream. I don't think that I'm the best person that's ever lived for having that dream. It's something I believe in. I believe in unity and love, and I am fighting to see that, to trust that myself. But I accept the mess that comes with it. I accept the mess that is me and my mistakes and that I won't always make. And for so long, I tried so hard to be perfect, and it just wasn't enough. It was never enough because it wasn't for me. It was for other people's comfort that were never going to be comfortable. They were never going to be comfortable. I can't be too much when it comes to sharing something that I am so passionate about. Yes, I have a lot of words. Yes, I use big words, but it's never been to put anyone down. You know how many times I've been told that? That the way that I speak is to belittle other people, to degrade other people. How much I've had to validate that it's what I'm here to do, to practice what I preach, to be vulnerable, to create from that place. That expression and using words to express myself is the foundation of the life that I am meant to live, that I'm trying to live, that I'm trying to trust that I deserve to live. I'm just as afraid, if not more afraid than everybody else, for what's to come, for what controls us, what fuels the world, greed, obsession, skewed, perverted feelings that have been repressed. And I think the number one thing that I've struggled is that I have so much faith and it won't let me give up. It won't let me accept the dysfunction. I have faith and I'm trying to have faith in something that I've never seen before. How do I have faith through all of the pain and hurt that I feel, that I spread to other people, that people feel that they spread to me, that we inflict on how we treat the planet? Trying to feel okay within that. Don't be angry, don't be sad. It's too much, it's too hard. But we all have these feelings, and the more that we tell ourselves that we don't, the more that we feel alone. There is so much fear within faith, within making the conscious choice to believe in something bigger than ourselves, within the conscious choice to believe in ourselves. It's a projection of this shame meant to keep us in false comfort that is the fear. And I think we all feel alone in this. And I think that feeling empowered enough to allow ourselves the space to dream, to be human, to make mistakes, to forgive ourselves, to believe in what we're capable of, what we see for our lives. I think the more we allow ourselves to do that, the more that we allow each other, the more we do those things, the more that we heal in a way that isn't linear, in a way that isn't black and white and good or bad, in a way that isn't perfect, in a way that is so fucking messy and disgusting and weird and uncomfortable. But real. And I don't want to feel alone. I don't want to feel alone in those feelings that I feel so deeply, so strongly. I don't want to repress this sadness. I don't want to victimize myself and feel held back and held down by what I've been through and the ways that I've been wronged by people, the ways that I've wronged people. I don't want to feel sad. I don't want to feel angry. But things have to be felt to be let go of. How can I channel that into something objectively beneficial to myself? And not everything is about me, you know? But I have to give myself the space that I wasn't given, and everybody has the right and the ability and should try to allow themselves the space and the drive to give that to themselves, because nobody else is going to give us that. I used to never cry, because when I cried, my sadness is as deep as my happiness and my love and my anger and my creation. It's as deep as the rest of me in my life, and it hurt people, and it hurt me, and when I hurt myself, I hurt people. People that cared, that wanted to be there, that wanted to help me, were hurt by the fact that a lot of my sadness has been hidden for so long that now it's sometimes inconsolable. I've had to do a lot of reflection, and in doing so, I've recognized all of the things that I don't believe in, that don't align with me, that have been normalized for me, normalized in my life, normalized in a lot of people's lives, and how much it hurts me to see those things within myself, but recognizing that if I don't meet those parts of myself with love and compassion, there's no room for reflection, there's no room for growth. If I meet myself with shame, I'm continuing the cycle. If I meet myself with fear, I'm taking away from my ability to live. And I really have never had the opportunities and the time and the space to feel free. And so I'm struggling with the fact that it's so frustrating to be in a place in my life now where I should be happy and I should feel free and relieved and relaxed, and I don't know how to do those things. And giving myself the grace to first feel sad and frustrated, because those are my current foundations that I don't wish to continue in my life in many ways. I know that feeling those things are inevitable, but the consistency and the depth of which that has been a part of my experience is something that I am trying very hard to not necessarily push against, but to accept enough, to feel enough, to let go, to allow myself to trust and have faith that new and change doesn't have to be a bad thing. That sometimes it's the hardest things that lead to the most beautiful, the most happy, the most freeing things. It's not so black and white, and giving myself the grace that the world didn't give me, that my family didn't give me, many people in my life that I cared about. And I do believe in some ways some people cared about me too. But it wasn't meant to be, and accepting that, again, without the black and white, feeling frustrated, feeling sad, feeling betrayed, but not enough to let that continue to shape my experience. Tell myself that it's okay to feel these things, it's okay to feel alone, it's okay to be alone. I'm not. Just because I feel that way doesn't mean that that's what is, and I do believe in so much more that's so much bigger than I am, and I believe in my part in that. Even though it is delusional and crazy. In all the best ways too, though. Nobody gets a new life, new opportunities, new beginnings from choosing to stay in fear disguised as comfort, choosing to stay in the same place, to take the same route every single time, praying that a miracle's gonna come bump into you. I've struggled with that. I see these things for my life. I believe in certain things in my path, and in a lot of it I accepted complacency to stay where I was, to not face the things that hurt me, to not face the feelings that I couldn't let go of. And I believed that in doing the same thing, in hiding, in choosing to be isolated, that I was going to experience the things that could become in my life, and I believe will. But I'm having to change, I'm having to grow, I'm having to believe and have faith and push myself, and it's so incredibly uncomfortable. But I am testing a theory that through the discomfort is where the faith pays off. I think the realest part of all of it, the good, the bad, the uncomfortable, the disturbing, the beauty, the love, it is so incredibly difficult to have faith in what we haven't seen, especially when it comes to believing in all of the good that can come from all of the pain, all of the struggle, all of the fear. And it's not really coming from it, it's coming from where wanting to change those things, wanting something so new that you fight so hard for it. What that gets us. I wish I had more method to the things that I said. I wish I thought about them before I spoke. But it's who I am, and I think believing in something bigger than ourselves starts with believing in ourselves and who we are, and that we are who we are, we feel how we feel for a reason. Recognizing the objectively positive and beneficial things that we can contribute to each other and to ourselves. Recognizing these deep feelings so that they don't become repressions that skew our ability to be objective. It's all just a theory, really. But it's gotten me this far, and I think the thing I would feel the most regret about is not being who I am. Not trusting that who I am is enough. I've done that for a long time, and it didn't get me anywhere. Not anywhere I wanted to be. And the more that I have let myself just be human, make mistakes, be imperfect, be disgusting, be ugly, the more that I feel powerful, beautiful, loving. I felt last night like I'm being stretched so thin in my ability to handle things, in my ability to be tested and still have faith within the ways that my life has tested me. But being stretched like a rubber band to my limits has also allowed me to be stretched the ways that I can understand that one thing is no different than the other. Love is the same as hate. My capacity to feel sadness is my capacity to feel happiness. And for my own sanity, I can't dwell in either. I can only feel things as they come. And the more that I allow myself to feel things, the more present I'm learning to live. And honestly, that's maybe the hardest part about all of it. Other than allowing yourself to succeed, allowing yourself to imagine it's possible to succeed in the ways that you desire to. Fear of success is matched by the fear of failure. Making a conscious choice to feel it all and choose which one directs my life.